Hey there friends, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here, and welcome to today's video, which I am titling my postpartum diaries. I have recorded bits and pieces of the first 4 weeks at home with Hunter, as well as kind of like chatting along the way about my challenges, my wins, and some things I'm doing to kind of like get through the day, survive, prepare myself, all of those things. So if that is something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. Week 1 was initially characterized by a whole heap of feel-good vibes and all of those love hormones as we brought Hunter home from the hospital and started developing our little routines as a now family of 3. However, these sort of like cloud 9 feelings very swiftly took a turn about day 3 when my hormones switched. And around that same time, I was starting to feel the struggle of sleepless nights, which were definitely happening fast and frenzied in week 1. During that time, I was also trying to recover from all of the birthing experiences physically. I wasn't necessarily moving my body, I was just trying to take it nice and easy. So as we move into week 2, I do start to incorporate just some light stretching and mobility work. This was mainly targeting my upper body and back as I was starting to breastfeed and trying to get used to the positioning of that, so it can become like very stiff and strenuous, and I really just wanted to open up my chest and relieve any tension that I was feeling in the back. So these kind of movements that I was doing here, I pretty much did kind of every day during the tail end of week 1 and then into week 2 and even week 3. During week 2, I also started going on some short walks with Dave, Hunter in the pram, and Mac as well. I attempted this very early on in week 2 when I wasn't feeling well, and it was a fail, but since then it has become a lot easier and just super enjoyable to be able to get out of the house and experience some fresh air, which was definitely necessary for my mental health, which started to decline quite significantly as we enter into week 2. Because I had been so exhausted, I wasn't making taking care of myself a priority, and in week 1 and even the start of week 2, I was finding that I wasn't getting enough food in throughout the day or even enough water, so I definitely started to make that a conscious effort to incorporate into my day from week 2 onwards. So even if it was just small meals or snacks, just something to give me energy and keep me going throughout the day was something I was really starting to work on more, as well as trying to incorporate moments for myself throughout the day, whether that's reading while breastfeeding or being able to catch up on some of my favorite YouTubers. A lot of people told me not to worry about getting the chores done around the house, but for me, cleaning is one of those things that really helps my mental health and just makes me feel a little bit more organized, in control, and productive. So I definitely tried to get like one job ticked off my list each day, whether that was putting on the dishwasher or a load of washing. Some days just having a shower and doing my skincare was kind of the only thing that I was able to achieve that day, and I have come to a place where I'm giving myself a little bit more grace in saying if that's the only thing that I get done during the day, then I need to be proud of my efforts in that. You know how people always say it'll get better? Well, sometimes it gets worse first. We are at 2.5 weeks postpartum. We'll be 3 weeks on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday, and most things have gotten more challenging. There are some things that have improved, so erring on the side of positivity. I'll talk about those first. My breastfeeding journey is starting to improve slightly, in the sense that I'm really getting the hang of it. I'm able to get in position and get him latched on quicker, so that's made the whole feeding process a lot more seamless. In saying that, the nips are that sore that they feel like they could actually fall off my body at any point. So we are on a little bit of struggle street there. On another positive note, physically, I'm feeling a lot better. My lochia is like settling down, so I'm not sore as much. I'm not having as many cramps. My uterus has definitely like done majority of the contracting, and my stitches are pretty much dissolved. So I'm actually able to like sit down without like serious discomfort. So that's a positive. However, on the more challenging side of things, my mental health has taken a serious dive. Like when I tell you that most days I feel like actual trash, it's true. I've been in a pretty dark place that has been almost impossible for me to get out of. And while like the pain of breastfeeding has like caused me oftentimes to rock back and forth with tears, like just the, you know, finding me huddled in a corner crying for any and all reasons is pretty much like a daily sort of activity at this point. I am kind of hoping that like once my hormones settle down, once like we get into a better routine in terms of sleep, feeding, like his stomach pains have been a big problem as well, that things will seem a whole heap less stressful, and I will be less of like an insane, crazy, lost my mind freak, basically, which is how I currently feel. During week 3, I started to get a lot better at prioritizing myself and my self-care. So whether it's those daily rituals of having a shower and doing my skincare, reading, watching YouTube, getting in some stretching and mobility work, taking the dog for a walk, all of those things that I started to dabble in week 2, I really was able to cement a little bit more in week 3, as well as prioritizing my eating and drinking of water. I have a really big water bottle, and I try and have at least 1 to 2 of those a day. I find that particularly at night time, I become quite thirsty and definitely tend to drink a lot more during that time as well. I also started to discover some YouTube videos relating to early postpartum kind of workouts and pelvic floor exercises, so I am starting to dabble a little bit more with that as well, being mindful of taking my recovery slow and waiting for that 6-week checkup when I can get the all clear from my doctor to start exercising. I just had the community health nurses down here, and they were checking in on Hunter and I was telling them about how bored I am while breastfeeding. It can be like very monotonous, especially for someone like me who, if you watch my channel, you know I'm pretty like up and go all the time. And anyway, one of the things that they suggested was that I should get myself like a little caddy of kind of essentials that I can sort of have nearby while I'm breastfeeding. So I had this plastic tub that I had in his cupboard, which I had kind of nappies and different things in, but I didn't really need it for those purposes. So I think I might use that. I've got 2 books that I'm currently reading. Who Are You Following and In 5 Years. I've been smashing through those, so I'm going to put those in there, as well as my specs. Earphones, and I pretty much always have my phone on me as well, so I can either like take calls or watch YouTube videos. They did suggest snacks. I don't really have any kind of snacks that I can put in here at the moment, just like little chocolate bars, which is totally not healthy, but I'm going to put those in there for now. But maybe when we go grocery shopping next, I'll get like some muesli bars or protein bars or something easy that I can have sort of wrapped and put in there. I'm also going to have my hand cream, my nipple balm, and my paw ointment because my lips are always so dry. And then I'll always have my water bottle on me as well. And let's see what else. I think I'll also put in these hydrogel breast discs. I've been going through these like crazy. I've only got 3 left. I'm currently wearing 2 right now, so I probably need to buy some more. I think I got these on Amazon. So I think I'll need to make an Amazon purchase. And then I've also got this little thing of hand sanitizer. So I'll put that in there as well. And then that's my caddy so far. Not bad. At least there's something that I can have by my side, like within easy reach. So I've got a few options of things while I'm breastfeeding. Put all these nappies and things back. Let's find a spot where I can put this for now. I typically do feed in this chair because it is so comfortable. So for right now, I've put my little caddy in his cot, which he is not using at the moment because it's a bit too big. So it's not like I need that space for anything at the moment. Go anywhere. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to do anything, and quite frankly, I don't even want to film this video. With my mental health being a constant daily struggle, I have been finding it really challenging to make sure I do my daily stretches or pelvic floor exercises. I realize that this only takes me like 10 minutes and is not a major chunk of my day, but having the motivation to actually do so, even having the motivation to film and edit, which is something I love so much, has been super challenging, and hopefully I can continue to work on improving my mental health and can start incorporating some of these things that I do enjoy back into my everyday. We are now at 4 weeks, and on the plus side of things, I haven't been crying hysterically every single day this week, which has been good, but I have been feeding this little terror like a fiend. Honestly, I feel like every other hour I'm sitting down and feeding him, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point my boobs do fall off, because they kind of feel like that's where we're going with things. I also was able to get out of the house today and go and do the grocery shopping for the first time. It's not the first time that I've left the house by myself. I did a very speedy Bunnings trip, maybe like last week, but it is the first time I've gone and done the groceries. So Hunter was here with Dave. I fed him beforehand to make sure that he was happy while I was gone for an hour. and it was just felt good to be out and be doing stuff. I love this house. You know, I spent a lot of time curating it exactly the way I want to, but for the last 4 weeks, I have pretty much been trapped inside the house, essentially. We've been able to get a couple of walks in the pram with the dog, but he kind of wasn't having the pram for some reason, even though I would find it to be quite relaxing. I'd love to be in a pram and have someone just push me as we stroll out in beautiful nature, but not my little boy. And then while I was at the grocery store today, I picked up these little oat slice bars and protein prebiotic yogurts just to have as snacks throughout the day, because I'm certainly finding it difficult to find the time to eat like a more substantial meal, particularly for lunchtime. We are now past the 4-week mark, and I definitely feel like I've learned and grown a lot in that short space of time. I have not yet mastered the art of patience or remaining calm and stress-free in heightened situations. Hopefully at some point in the next 4 weeks, I'll be able to get somewhat of a grip on those skills. The two biggest things that have been a challenge to me in the first 4 weeks of becoming a parent are things that I feel like no one really talks about. And the first one is breastfeeding. Like, there's a lot of very beautiful imagery about breastfeeding and narratives about breastfeeding, about it being like a natural connecting, bonding experience between you and your child. And I'm sure that it is, and I hope that it is for a lot of people. For me, it's been very physically painful and physically and mentally draining, and because of that, I have dreaded the entire breastfeeding experience. On a positive note, I feel like each day and each week I'm learning new tools and tactics and skills to be more effective in my breastfeeding, and hopefully I will come to a place, you know, maybe within the next 4 weeks where it becomes more second nature and more of like an easy and enjoyable experience for the both of us. And then the second thing that I feel like not enough people talk about is postnatal depression. As someone who has had mental health challenges for, you know, 10-15 years, I knew that there were maybe risk factors that I could potentially develop PND, but I didn't know what that would look like. And considering that I was in like a relatively, you know, stress-free, peaceful, like really good mental scape in the couple of months leading up to giving birth, I was super optimistic that I would be someone who would be able to, I guess, avoid this. So I was pretty shook when just the feelings of postnatal depression came over me in such a strong, forceful way that made me feel worthless, hopeless, erratic, my emotions being uncontrollable, so many different things. I don't really want to go like into like full depth on that here, because I don't want it to be a doom and gloom story. I don't feel like it's a I have postnatal depression full stop. I feel like it's a I've been experiencing postnatal depression for the first 4 weeks of becoming a parent. It has been debilitating, to say the least, but I have received a lot of supports, some more helpful than others, but still super grateful for people and services that I've been able to access to kind of try and help me navigate this. I definitely feel like it's a journey. I definitely feel like, yes, while I've been in this place and I'm in this place now, it's not somewhere that I want to stay, and I'm hopeful that it's not somewhere I'm going to stay, and I'm certainly taking advantage of all the supports, all the resources, and taking steps as small as they may be to get myself better mentally, for myself, for my son, and for my husband as well. So yeah, that's definitely something that has been a major struggle, and something that I wanted to mention just for the simple fact that I feel like not enough people do. With that being said, I feel like now is a good point to close out my postpartum diaries. We've got weeks 1 to 4, a little snapshot of how first few weeks of life as a new mum have been for me, and hopefully I can continue to take you guys along the journey and show some more uplifting, exciting experiences along the way. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below. I put out new videos every single week. That being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.